Check out carmarshal.com. The link is in the description. They help support us.
Venezuela's hyperinflation is breaking deli scales. The price of a kilogram of ham is just too long. By March 14, 2018, 8 a.m. EDT. Editor's note: there are few places as chaotic or dangerous as Venezuela. Life in Caracas is a new series of short stories that seeks to capture the surreal quality of living in a land in total disarray. We don't have any. Living in Venezuela, you get used to hearing that, but the story behind the missing ham was different. It's not that supermarket managers were having trouble finding enough to sell the typical cause of shortages ravaging the country. They had decided to stop ordering it. The reason, after years of hyperinflation, the price is too long. The store's deli scales run to only 6 digits. And ham, my WhatsApp food hunting community tells me, is retailing nowadays for about 1,480,000 bolivars per kilogram. It didn't matter that I wanted only a few hundred milligrams. The cost was, at this market at least, incalculable. A similar dynamic is impeding the use of credit and debit cards. The price of a set of sheets, 33,541,963, a pair of Adidas sneakers, 10,500,000, or even a slice of lasagna, 401,450, can't fit on the screens of older card machines. The solution is to split one purchase into several transactions. Even the invoice printers that many businesses use for reports to tax authorities are running out of space. It would seem to be only a matter of time before the Maduro regime opts to reset the value of the currency to ease these logistical headaches. It's been 10 years since officials first tried such a move, lopping off 3 zeros and rebranding it the strong Bolivar. That strength didn't last long. As the government cranked up printing presses to finance extravagant spending plans with fresh cash, inflation soared. There are no official figures, but, by all accounts, prices are rising faster than ever. Bloomberg's gauge, the Café con Leche Index, estimates that inflation has been running at an annualized pace of more than 82,000% over the past 3 months. Back at the supermarket, the clerk told me they're trying to fix the scale so they know how much to charge. They'd better add a whole lot of digits. With assistance by Nora Soto and Fabiola Zerpa.
We're not sure whether this was a renegotiation, a restructuring, or whatever else. They've been using these words.
Separate rooms, so they wouldn't be in the same room with the two people leading the negotiations, the finance minister and the vice president, who are sanctioned by the U.S. government.
So based on your knowledge of this meeting today, debt talks, as we are talking about, what actually was the outcome? Did the situation move forward?
You know, it didn't move forward. It was really a whole lot of nothing that happened down there. But what it does show, I think, is one, that this government is increasingly desperate. They realize that they've paid most of their debt, we think, though there's some questions about whether it actually entered the banks. But they see another $9 billion coming up in the year ahead, and they just don't have the money for it. And we also see that they're worried about sanctions expanding around the world. We saw the EU just put sanctions on a few days ago on any arms or anything that could be used to repress people. Canada has joined the United States in individual sanctions. And the U.S. is still talking about ratcheting up sanctions beyond financial where they are today.
So you mentioned it appears that they got through these latest debt payments. As you mentioned, there are issues with the mechanics in terms of actually getting the money from Venezuelan accounts into the accounts of bondholders. That alone is a fascinating thing. What do you expect to happen over the next year or over the next, now that there's some time until the next big slug of payments comes out?
Well, today there was supposed to be a meeting of the ISDA, the International Settlements and Dispute Association, to decide if they actually missed a payment, because they did pay it, but too late. So do credit default swaps, do they kick in or not? So that was postponed till tomorrow. So we'll see, that's the short term, what really happens there. But overall, what we are seeing in Venezuela is they just don't have the money to pay. And so what do they decide to do? At the same time, they've been cutting back on importing food, importing medicine. People are starving. There's this whole other problem there, which is a humanitarian problem, but also a political problem for this government, who's looking forward to next year when they also have presidential elections.
Longer term, it seems that many think that default is certainly going to be the outcome. And if we hop into the Bloomberg here and take a look at #BTV4878, this is Venezuela CDS, and we see that they've absolutely spiked insurance against the bonds, really suggesting, and in fact, a couple of weeks ago, we have Capital Economics saying that it's not a question of if they default, but if when. What are your thoughts there?
I think that's true. As was in power, it was 3 million. So this is falling month by month, and I think that will continue.
County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Sheriff County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is if I got some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head, help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.